The Galactic Council was the greatest force in the known universe. It ruled over thousands of alien species, managing peace, trade, and war across 1,000 systems. For centuries, peace had been kept not with strength, but with fear of a single, simple rule. It was never written in any law book, but every leader knew it by heart. Do not interfere with Earth. No one questioned it. No one challenged it. The reason was unclear, hidden deep in forgotten archives and whispered stories. But those who broke it never returned, and so the rule was followed. Always. Among the council races, Earth was considered a mystery. A death world. A place where even the animals could kill. Where the atmosphere, gravity, and environment were harsh. But it wasn't the planet's nature that made the council nervous. It was the humans. Strange creatures with impossible history. They rose from primitive tribes to spaceflight in the blink of a galactic eye. Their technology advanced too fast, their wars too violent, and their survival instincts unmatched. The last recorded war involving humans ended in complete silence. No one truly knew what happened, only that Earth had closed its borders afterward. Since then, Earth stayed quiet, watching but never speaking. And the Council? The Council left them alone. But peace always ends. One species, proud, new, and arrogant, refused to believe in the old warnings. The Zirini, tall, blue-skinned warriors with sharp minds and sharp tongues. They had just joined the Council and quickly became one of its most active members. They saw themselves as smarter and stronger than most. To them, Earth was just an old myth, a backwater world protected by fear and superstition. The Zirini believed it was time to teach humans their place. They didn't ask permission. They didn't send envoys. They simply launched a fleet. The Zirini ships reached Earth's orbit in silence. Massive, powerful cruisers shimmered above the blue planet. Their commanders laughed as they watched the humans below, peaceful, unaware, living simple lives. No missiles launched, no shields activated. Earth's defense systems remained offline. It was too easy. The Zirini commander, General Vorsak, ordered a low-orbit flyover as a show of strength. Fighters streaked across the sky, breaking the sound barrier above major cities. Still, no response. No panic. Earth's people looked up and went on with their day. Confused, Vorsak ordered a broadcast. Earth, this is the Zirini Empire. You are under the protection and guidance of the Galactic Council. Submit and prepare for planetary evaluation. The message was sent in multiple languages, translated through ancient communication protocols known to humans. No reply. Growing impatient, Vorsak sent one of his scout ships into the atmosphere. It disappeared in less than 5 seconds. No explosion. No distress call. It simply vanished from sensors. Silence followed. At Council HQ, reports from the Zirini mission began to worry a few elder members. One of them, a species older than stars, asked a quiet question. Why did they break the rule? No one had an answer. The younger members laughed, calling the rule outdated. The elders did not laugh. Back above Earth, Zirini ships recalibrated. Their sensors. Something was wrong. Communications were failing, satellites were going offline. The commander thought it was human interference, but Earth was still completely silent. Suddenly, the flagship's lights flickered. Power systems glitched. A deep hum vibrated through the ship, followed by total silence on the bridge. Then, a human voice spoke through their own communication system, calm, emotionless, and terrifying. You broke it. That was all. 2 words. Then, the flagship lost power completely. Emergency lights came on. No one could move the ship. The crew panicked. Some tried to run diagnostics. Others tried to escape. Back at the Council, alarms sounded across the galaxy. AI systems picked up an old Earth signal from deep space. A signal that hadn't been heard in over 3 centuries. One word, active. The elders knew what it meant. The humans were awake, the rule was broken, and now the price would be paid. General Vorsak paced the bridge of his crippled flagship. Systems were down. His engineers had no answers. Weapons didn't work. Shields were offline. The fleet above Earth floated like blind fish in a quiet ocean. His second-in-command spoke nervously. "Sir, we've lost contact with 2 more ships. No damage. Just gone." Still, Earth didn't fire. Not one missile. Not even a warning shot. Cities below continued as if nothing had happened. "This is psychological warfare," Vorsak growled. "They're trying to scare us." But deep inside, even he was unsure. The Council received his fragmented distress signal and panicked. Council leaders demanded answers. Why was there no fight? Why was Earth not responding with force? One elder, covered in silver fur, spoke in a cold voice. "You don't understand. Silence from Earth means they are thinking. And when humans think in silence, they plan something terrifying." Meanwhile, the Zirini tried to re-establish communication with Earth. "Humans, respond. We are the Zirini. Your systems are failing. Surrender, and we may allow you to live." The answer came not from Earth, but from space. One of the Zirini officers spotted something strange on the long-range scanners. Objects, small and dark, appeared at the edge of the solar system, but they had no energy signature, no heat, no movement. They didn't show up like normal ships. "What are those?" Vorsak asked. Then they moved. Fast. Too fast. Before anyone could react, one Zirini cruiser was split in half by an invisible force. No explosion, just clean, silent destruction. Another ship's core shut down in mid-space. No weapons detected, no warning, just death. Council intelligence received the first visual of these ghost ships. Black hulls, no lights, no engines visible. Ships that seemed more like shadows than machines. They carried no symbols, no flags, just one small marking on each ship's side. A white circle, inside it, a blue planet. Earth. At Council HQ, silence fell over the chamber. Everyone had heard the stories. The Shadow Fleet. A human program so secret, even Earth's own people didn't fully know about it. Ships built not to fight, but to erase. And now, they were awake. An emergency meeting was called. Panic spread, like fire. "You must stop them!" the Zirini demanded. The Council looked at them with horror. "You already released them." Back in space, Vorsak watched helplessly as another of his cruisers was disabled, its crew teleported out mid-flight. Not killed. Taken. No one knew where. Suddenly, another voice echoed through the Zirini system. A human voice. Calm. Cold. Earth does not forget. Earth does not forgive. Then the stars around Earth blinked out for just a moment. No one knew why. But the Zirini commander finally understood something. This wasn't a war. This was punishment, and Earth hadn't even started yet. General Vorsak stared at the empty space where his ships had been just seconds ago. Gone. No explosions. No distress beacons. Just nothing. His fleet was crumbling, and he didn't even know who or what was attacking them. Then the crew's screens flickered. A ghost image appeared, grainy, barely visible, black shapes moving through space, fast, silent, smooth. "They're not on any radar," whispered a Zirini officer. "We can't track them. We can't even see them." Suddenly, the room filled with a cold voice. "You looked for us. Now you've found us." The lights flickered. Again. Then they saw it. A ship. But not like anything they'd ever seen. It had no windows, no lights. Just pure black metal that seemed to drink in the stars, and on its side, once again, was the same symbol, a white circle. Inside it, Earth. The Shadow Fleet had arrived. Across the galaxy, Council worlds went on high alert. Members demanded answers. Where did these ships come from? Why are they invisible? Why didn't we know about them? Who gave Earth this power? An elder answered with a heavy voice. We did, by staying silent all these years. The truth was brutal. Hundreds of years ago, when humanity was first contacted by the Council, it didn't beg to join. It didn't ask for help, it listened, and then it vanished. Earth disappeared from all networks, no trade, no diplomacy. But behind closed doors, it built something dark, something deadly. The Shadow Fleet was born, not for protection, but for one mission, retaliation. Back above Earth, Zereni warships tried to regroup, shields up. Weapons charged, they fired, lasers, missiles, plasma rounds, all hit nothing. The human ships didn't dodge, they simply weren't there anymore. Then, out of the blackness, a signal burst through all Zereni systems. A message. War is loud. Revenge is quiet. One by one, Zereni ships powered down. Artificial gravity stopped, airlocks opened, some ships just floated, empty. On the Zereni homeworld, their leaders watched helplessly as every orbiting satellite went offline. Council fleets tried to intervene. They never reached the system. The Shadow Fleet wasn't just strong, it was invisible, unpredictable, and unstoppable. The Council now realized a terrifying truth. Earth had never been silent out of weakness. It had been watching, listening, preparing. And now, the humans were done waiting. The Zarkari Empire had never begged before. But now, their fleets were broken, their colonies were scared, and their enemies had become silent ghosts in the dark. The humans were not shouting, they were not invading, they were just watching, waiting, and striking without warning. So the Zarkari leaders did the unthinkable. They asked for peace, but Earth wasn't done. Story continues. A Zarkari ambassador arrived at the edge of human space in a white flag ship. No weapons, just messages of surrender. We apologize, they said. We didn't know how dangerous you were. We beg for peace. Earth didn't answer right away. The ambassador waited in orbit for 3 days. No reply, no signal, just silence. Then, on the 4th day, a small human scout ship appeared. It didn't speak. It didn't land. It just broadcast one sentence. You hurt a child. We are not finished. Inside Earth Command, Gabriel stood before the Council. They had full control now, but they weren't cheering. They weren't celebrating. They were focused. Letting them surrender now, one commander said, means they'll just rebuild. Another added, what about the others? What about the species that helped them kidnap Lily? All eyes turned to Admiral Reyes. She said quietly, they will all answer, one by one. And so Earth made a list. Every planet, every leader, every ship that helped the Zarkari hurt that little girl, every one of them would pay. Zarkari. Desperation. The Empire began to collapse. Outposts went dark. Supply lines were attacked by invisible ships. Ministers resigned. Generals disappeared. Entire worlds whispered, the humans are here. Some tried to escape. Others tried to surrender. But Earth only responded with silence, or worse, with a missing fleet. The galaxy began to understand. This wasn't just about war. This was about justice, and Earth was the judge. Lily's strength. Lily was back on Earth now, safe, happy. But she wasn't the same scared child anymore. She trained every day, studied with soldiers, learned how to fight, how to think, how to survive. People called her the galaxy's spark because her pain had lit the fire. The message spreads. Across the stars, one phrase was whispered again and again. Don't touch human kids. From the smallest trader to the richest noble, the message was clear. If you harm the innocent, if you take what is not yours, the humans will find you, and they will not stop. Final scene, Part 6. Ending. The Zarkari High Council gathered for the last time. One asked, "Can we escape to another galaxy?" Another shook his head. "They are already watching the jump gates." A third whispered, "What do they want?" And far above their planet, hidden in the shadows of a dead moon, a human fleet waited, silent, cloaked, ready. Inside, Admiral Reyes looked out the window. She gave the next order with calm words. "Target. The Zarkari capital. Let them see what fear really feels like. The Zarkari Empire thought it couldn't get worse. Their fleets were gone. Their allies abandoned them. Their capital was surrounded by invisible ships. So they waited for the humans to invade, to destroy everything, to burn their homeworld to ash. But nothing happened, and that silence was more terrifying than war. Story continues. From orbit, Earth's fleet had full control. Targeting systems locked, weapons charged, but no fire came. Instead, a single human shuttle dropped from the sky, unarmed, unguarded. It landed right in the center of the Zarkari capital. Crowds gathered. Soldiers aimed their weapons. And then the shuttle doors opened. Out walked Gabriel Voss, alone. Behind him walked Lily, stronger now, confident. Her eyes cold like the stars. Gasps filled the air. No one moved. No one dared speak. The message. Gabriel stepped forward and placed a small device on the ground. It projected a voice, Admiral Reyes herself. "You broke the oldest law of the stars. You touched what should never be touched, a child. And now you ask for peace? There will be peace, but only after this warning is clear to all. Harm a human child again, and we will erase your name from history." The crowd was silent. Lily stepped forward, looked into the eyes of a Zarkari general and said, "We remember, and we never forget." Across the galaxy, every news stream broadcast the moment. Aliens in faraway systems watched in silence. On warships and farms, in schools and streets, one message echoed everywhere. The humans didn't conquer, they corrected. And from that day forward, no one ever touched another human child. Not once. Not ever. The future begins. Earth didn't destroy the Zarkari homeworld. They didn't burn cities or take slaves. Instead, they left. Just like that. The fleet vanished into the stars, but the fear remained. The memory remained, and the warning was written in every language. Don't touch human kids. Lily's legacy. Years passed. Lily grew into a leader. She helped build new laws across the galaxy, laws that protected children of all species. Gabriel retired quietly, but his name was legend. And Earth? Earth became a quiet guardian, never loud, never cruel, just watching, waiting, ready. Final scene, Part 7. Ending. In a classroom on a distant world, a young alien raised his hand. "Teacher, is the story true? Did the humans really destroy fleets for one girl?" The teacher smiled sadly. "It wasn't just for one girl," she said. "It was for every child who couldn't fight back." She paused, then added, "And yes, it's all true." At the council's highest chamber, panic turned to silence. Species that ruled star systems sat frozen, their leaders pale with fear. Everyone knew about the rule, but only a few ancient beings remembered why it existed. One of them, Elder, Cathel, a being who had lived over 1,000 years, stood and spoke. "I was there," he said. "The day we learned what humanity really is." Gasps filled the room. Cathel had never spoken of the event. Long ago, before Earth was isolated, the Council made contact. A peaceful visit. They wanted to teach humans how to join the stars. But Earth's response shocked them. Humans didn't ask for help. They studied the Council, and then they started building fast, too fast. In just a few decades, Earth went from basic starships to weapons that could rewrite space-time. Their scientists made discoveries other species hadn't made in thousands of years. Then came the experiment. A peaceful Council science team visited Earth to observe their progress. Only 3 days later, they disappeared. No warning, no trace. Rescue team followed. Gone. Finally, one ship returned. It carried no crew, only a message written in dozens of languages. "Do not return. Earth is not ready, and neither are you." Cathel stared at the silent chamber. "We called it a death world. But it's not just the planet, it's the people." He paused. "Humans don't fear death. They adapt to it. They use it. Their wars never stop because their will never breaks," one young council member protested. "But they're just another species." Cathel shook his head. "No, they are something different, something we can't control." Back near Earth, General Vorsak, trapped aboard his powerless ship, watched as the stars slowly faded behind a black wall of ships. The Shadow Fleet had formed a complete circle around the planet. He tried to send a surrender message. No response. Then a single human message flashed onto every ship screen. "Now you understand the rule. In secret council archives, a restricted video played for a handful of surviving council elders. It showed humans, young, old, soldiers, and scientists, training not for war, but for annihilation, not to fight, but to win without being seen." The final line of the old Earth file chilled everyone. Humanity is not dangerous because of what it has. Humanity is dangerous because of what it can become when threatened. And now, humanity was threatened and angry. The Council made a choice. Strike Earth before it's too late. But they forgot one thing. You don't attack a death world and survive. Story. The Council held an emergency vote. Panic had taken over logic. The motion passed. Earth must be destroyed. Within hours, fleets from 7 powerful species formed a massive armada, the largest in galactic history. 100 ships. Over 1 million soldiers, all headed for one small blue planet. As the ships neared Earth, they didn't see human defenses. No fleets. No energy signatures. No resistance. Just quiet. "It's a trap," one commander whispered. But it was too late to stop. The attack began. Planet-cracking bombs launched. Space torpedoes fell like stars. They never hit. One by one, the bombs vanished. Not exploded, just gone. Then, Council ships began disappearing too. A shadow passed across the command decks, black and silent. Then screens shut off. Airlocks opened. No alarms, no escape, just silence. Back at Council HQ, horror spread. Live. Feeds from the fleet went dark. One by one, generals stopped reporting. Then came a message, a video sent from Earth. It showed a human child. She stood in a green field, under a blue sky, smiling. Behind her, black ships hovered in the air. Completely still, she spoke. "We asked for peace. You sent war. Now you'll learn what war really is." On the surviving Council ships, chaos exploded. Weapon systems failed. AI systems refused to obey. Crew members vanished mid-step, teleported, erased, or worse. In space, the Shadow Fleet revealed its true power. It didn't fight with brute strength. It fought with control. Human tech had evolved beyond physics. Quantum warping, reality bending, total silence. A Zyrani admiral screamed over open comms, "This isn't war, it's extermination!" Only one ship returned to the Council alive. Its captain, trembling, shared what he saw. Ships made of shadows, weapons made of silence. We fired first, and Earth didn't even blink. We never had a chance. Back on Earth, the skies remained clear. No damage, no debris, just the message sent to the galaxy. Humanity didn't want this war, but now, we'll finish it. After the Shadow Fleet appeared, fear spread like wildfire. The Council had only two choices: negotiate with Earth or destroy it before it became unstoppable. They chose war. 7 Council races united, an armada of 300 advanced warships gathered near Jupiter. This was not a warning shot. This was total planetary destruction. On the command deck of the lead ship, Supreme Admiral Darnex gave the order: all ships, target Earth's power grid, fire at will. Hundreds of missiles, torpedoes, and energy lances shot toward the planet, but they never hit. They just vanished mid-space. No explosion, no shield. Gone. A voice echoed through every council ship. Not loud, not angry, just calm. "This is your only warning. Turn back." The fleet ignored it. Then, ship by ship, strange things began happening. Navigation systems reversed. Weapons refused to fire. Shields began protecting Earth's orbit instead of the fleet. Panic spread through the armada. Then, in perfect silence, the Shadow Fleet moved. No lights, no heat, no sound. They didn't fire weapons. They disabled reality. One council ship watched in horror as space twisted around them. Their engines screamed. Time slowed, then stopped, forever. Only a few ships managed to retreat. One captain sobbed as he broadcast back to the council. "We attacked first, but Earth doesn't fight like us. They erased us like dust." The council gathered in emergency session. Arguments exploded. Blame flew in all directions. Then a message came through, from Earth. Only 2 words. Now listen. Every system across the galaxy flickered. Satellites shut down. Ships froze. Markets collapsed. Earth had flipped a switch, and the galaxy was now at its mercy. Every council world received the message. All screens went black. Then the signal played. Simple, clear, terrifying. A human voice, calm and emotionless, said, "Now listen." That was it. But every military system shut down. Trade ships dropped out of hyperspace. Galactic communication failed, and worse, Earth systems stayed online. Across hundreds of planets, people panicked. Markets crashed. Banks froze. Weapons wouldn't arm. Defenses wouldn't respond. On one council capital, citizens stormed government buildings screaming, "Why did you wake them? Why did you break the rule?" Leaders begged Earth for peace. No reply. Instead, every capital world received a live broadcast. It showed Earth, peaceful, calm, forests, cities, oceans. Then the image changed. Black ships rising silently from Earth's surface. Thousands of them. Human soldiers stood in formation, but their faces were hidden by dark helmets. Their leader stepped forward. No weapons, no threats. He spoke. "We gave the galaxy peace. You answered with fear. You feared our strength. So now, you'll feel it." In deep space, Shadow Fleet carriers warped out near Council-controlled trade routes. They didn't fire. They just waited. And every species understood the message. Earth could stop their entire way of life without firing a shot. Inside the council chambers, Elder Cathel collapsed to his knees. "They warned us," he whispered. "They gave us peace. But we thought it was weakness. We thought they were like us. But humans, they wait." Back on Earth, the broadcast ended, but the signal stayed open. One final message appeared. We are not your enemy. Unless you make us one. The council was broken. The greatest alliance in galactic history had fallen to its knees. Not from bombs, not from invasions, but from fear. Every council species sent the same message. We surrender. Please. We want peace. On Earth, the response came days later, not from a soldier, not from a general, but from a human child. She appeared on every screen across the galaxy. Her voice was calm, innocent, yet terrifying. Peace is not a word. It is a promise. You broke it. Now you will earn it back. The council expected punishment. Instead, they received one command. You will dissolve the council forever. Silence followed. Then the human message continued. You will build something new, equal, fair, no more secrets, no more fear. In the shadows of Earth's orbit, the massive human fleet waited, not to conquer, to watch. The message was clear. We are not gods. We are not monsters. We are simply human. And being human means remembering, forgiving maybe, but never forgetting. 1 year later, the galaxy had changed. The old council was gone. A new alliance formed, with Earth at the center, not as rulers, as guardians. Humanity didn't want to dominate the stars. They just wanted to make sure no one else ever played God again. Final scene. From orbit, a group of alien students watched Earth. Their teacher, a young human, smiled and said, "We were called monsters, but now we are builders. Just don't make us fight again."